Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Theravada Buddhism series, Dhamma talk number 48. Back to basics of the practice. Body and mind in working order are necessary to have awareness. Mind, it splits into four components: feeling, perception, mental formation, and consciousness. These five, one materiality, four mentality, are called the five aggregates that represent the self. Based on these five aggregates, Buddha taught us the Four Foundations of Mindfulness. Let's have a review on the five aggregates. They are rupa, vedana, sanna, sankhara, and vinnana in Pali. Rupa is the body's materiality. It's always present as long as we are alive. Under the right conditions, it gives access to the direct understanding that the body consists of the four great elements: earth, wind, fire, and water. That's rupa. Vedana, feeling. Feeling arises with every mental contact of an object and a consciousness. Under correct observation, every feeling perishes without leaving any residue. They perishes as soon as they arise. Only holding onto the feeling with likes and dislikes produce seed for future existence. The third aggregate is sanna. It represents sanna's representation could be right or it also could be wrong from facts or truth. However, constant right and correct perception can establish by applying mindfulness at the point of mental contact and feeling. If you apply mindfulness right at the contact, mental contact and feeling, you will always have the correct and right perception, never a wrong perception. The fourth is sankhara. 50 mental formations or also called mental associates, that is sankhara, is a mental factor volition, intention, or vedana associated with every mental factors. There are 50 of them, so we call it sankhara. But whenever the other 49 are arising, that vedana volition is arising with them. So sometimes we say this vedana, volition or intention, as a representative of sankhara, mental formation. They are not exactly the same, but it can be taken as the same. Vinnana, consciousness, is the bare and pure awareness of an object. Here, mental contact means phassa. In Pali, it's phassa. Feeling is vedana. And mindfulness produces correct perception, sanna. Volition or vedana represent the mental formation sankhara. And the life force is vinnana. So these are the 5 aggregates. So let's see how Four Foundations of Mindfulness is connected to these 5 aggregates. Mindfulness of the body is observing materiality in the body. It is an investigation of rupa. Mindfulness of the feeling is the experience, or in Pali, vedana, at mental contact. When the object, external object, internal object sensitivity, and consciousness come together, is called mental contact. And the experience at that point of mental contact is vedana, feeling. Mindfulness of the mind is the observation of volitions with all other mental factors and awareness of the physical and mental object. That is mindfulness of the mind. It investigates into mental factors as well as into the nature of consciousness. Those are the 3 foundations. And mindfulness of Dhamma is the observation of Dhamma concepts. We have this observation of Dhamma or the concept because all the experiences we have regarding to the matter of feeling or mental factors, emotions, awareness, they have to put into context in the way we could understand, such as 5 hindrances, 5 controlling faculties, factors of enlightenment, 4 noble truths. They are in a conceptual form of these experience. Investigating into the conceptual form of these experience is Dhamma. When you investigate into this nature, it's called mindfulness of Dhamma. Basically, connecting the practice and theory so that we have a bigger picture understanding. As the materiality, the rupa, consciousness, vinnana, and some of the mental factors, cetasika, are arising together. They all arise together. So we observe whatever is most prominent at the moment. We don't choose rupa or vedana or emotions. Whatever is prominent, we observed at that moment. It may be the body, feeling, or mind. Whichever one becomes prominent, we observe it. There are many approaches to the practice. Some follow all 4 groups of mindfulness. Some choose to focus on vedana, feeling. Some specialized on the mind. They call it cetanupassana, vedananupassana. Which one is right? Which one is wrong? Everything is right. It is up to an individual choice. You choose what you'd like to do, number one, and then when you are doing it, are you experiencing the progress in Dhamma? And if it is so, keep on doing. That's it. Although one may observe all 4 groups of mindfulness, you observe whatever comes, body, feeling, mind. But once you progress, you will find that one of the 4 foundations arise more in you than the other. And also that one works better with you than the others. Automatically your mind bent, takes and channel to it. You don't have to choose one. And at the same time, let's say you are observing the feeling. Okay, you think, oh, feeling. But there's a awareness of the feeling. That's consciousness. And also the feeling can come from the physical source. There's a rupa. And there are many emotions along with it. Sankhara. So even though you might think you are only observing one or specializing in one, all other 3 are there. So if you understand that, we won't be quibbling on this method is right or that method is right. Simply do it, and your progress will direct you which one is the most suitable for you. Follow it. Satipatthana, mindfulness. Mindfulness is the salt of the dish of this practice. Without it, the practice will go nowhere. Samapatthana, effort. The effort supports and maintains mindfulness. Only when you can support and maintain the mindfulness, samadhi, concentration, will be established. Concentration can penetrate the true nature of mind and matter, giving wisdom, pinya. However, wisdom will not arise instantly. You might feel an insight here, a little insight there. It needs a repeated development of concentration by applying mindfulness with great effort. You need that. It's a requirement to acquire or obtain wisdom, pinya. Let's look at a little analogy here. You were digging somewhere, and one day you found a brass bowl in the ground, which was made, let's say, 1,000 years ago. You unearthed and found a brass bowl. The color of the brass is nowhere to be seen, but dirty and dirt, dark color, overwhelm it due to oxidation. To get the original shine of brass, one needs to rub repeatedly with a cloth for an extended period. It may take hundreds of thousands of rub to get the desired result, to get the shine of the brass. Similarly, beings, which is us, beings have been accumulating unwholesome mental defilements for innumerable lives. And a thick layer of mental defilement has coated a being. A yogi needs to rub it with mindfulness millions and millions of times, supported by effort and commitment to eliminate, peel off this layers and layers of mental defilements that will produce the required amount of concentration, samadhi. This process is like an antioxidant to a brass bowl. This process will peel off layers and layers of mental defilement that one had accumulated for endless number of past lives. That's why we need to work very hard, non-stop, with no break and no gap. This pinya we are developing, this lack of wisdom, most of us have no wisdom, lack of wisdom to understand the true nature of mind and matter is due to wrong view, ditthi, craving, dhamma, and ignorance, avijja. Three main points. Because of these three, we are living in a state of self-delusion, sakkaya ditthi. Because, let's see this way, whenever we are born, we have a father and mother, parents. Without parents, we are not born. The same way, whenever we are born, this craving and ignorance, tanha and delusion with us all the time, like a parents. So we are with that parents of tanha and avijja every life, all the time. Without it, we are not born. They are like our parents. And they condition us based on their nature. They have been conditioning us for countless number of past life. That's why we live with the wrong view. In the scripture, it presents this way. This side of the shore, the other side of the shore, and we cross the body of water with the boat. This side of the shore means living with the full of mental defilements and wrong view. That's at this side of the shore. The other side of the opposite shore is Nibbana, where all suffering ends. There's no mental defilement there. The boat refers to the practice of Eightfold Noble Path, which we have to use to cross the ocean of samsara, cycle of birth and death. One needs to paddle the vessel repeatedly until it reaches the other shore. If you don't, you won't get to the other side. And that paddling repeatedly, non-stop, till you arrive there is called bhavaniya. In other words, bhavana, development. It's called bhavaniya. Each stroke of the paddle is a moment of precise mindfulness, where one is on the path of mundane world. We are still in a mundane world, but that little moment we are right on the dot, like as if we are on the path. The majority of mundane paths, these little precise moments, will establish Lokottara, mega, ultra mundane path, which permanently eradicates wrong view, craving, and ignorance, all mental defilements. So we just go back to the basic. Have a little reminder to ourselves what is really important and what we are doing. May all of you be able to practice mindfulness insight meditation, and may you be able to cut through the cycle of rounds of rebirth and attain Nibbana as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much.